It was a chilly autumn evening, and Madison was finishing up her night shift at the quaint little coffee shop. The clock struck 11 p.m., and she started her closing routine, humming softly to herself as she cleaned the counters and arranged the chairs. The warmth of the shop contrasted sharply with the cold wind howling outside, but Madison felt a strange unease she couldn't quite shake off. Madison had always been cautious, especially during her night shifts, but tonight felt different. After flipping the sign to "closed," she turned back to her cleaning, only to notice a tall, built man standing just outside the door. His eyes were fixed on her with an intensity that sent chills down her spine. "Sorry, we're closed," she said with a nervous smile, hoping he would take the hint and leave. But the man just stood there, staring. Trying to maintain her composure, Madison continued with her tasks, her heart pounding in her chest. She suddenly realized that in her haste to put up the closed sign, she had forgotten to lock the door. Panic gripped her, but she forced herself to stay calm. She discreetly grabbed her phone from behind the counter and texted her boyfriend, Jake, explaining the situation. Jake texted back, "On my way. Keep a knife close and keep an eye on him. Don't worry, I'll be there soon." Madison's relief was short-lived. She glanced back at the door to find the man gone. Quickly, she ran to the door and locked it, laughing nervously at her overreaction. She texted Jake to let him know the man had left and that she was fine, but Jake insisted on coming to pick her up. "Really, Jake, I'm fine," she assured him. "I'll just finish up and head home. We can catch up on the weekend." Jake reluctantly agreed but decided to keep driving towards the coffee shop, his instincts telling him something wasn't right. Madison continued her cleaning, moving to the bathroom to finish up. As she scrubbed the sinks, she heard footsteps echoing in the empty shop. Her heart raced. She gripped tightly onto the mop, listening intently. The footsteps stopped, and in the reflection of the bathroom's glass, she saw in the man, crouching and hiding. Panicking, she slammed the bathroom door shut and locked it, realizing her phone was still on the kitchen counter. Trapped and terrified, Madison prayed that Jake would arrive soon. After what felt like an eternity, she heard Jake's voice calling out her name. She opened the door cautiously and ran into his arms. They left the shop quickly, heading to Jake's apartment. Madison stayed at Jake's place for the next few weeks. Life slowly returned to normal, and the horrifying encounter at the coffee shop began to feel like a distant nightmare. But Madison couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, a lingering unease that followed her everywhere. One evening, after returning to her own apartment, Madison decided to relax and watch a movie on her laptop. She had just changed into her sleeping clothes and settled into bed when she heard the faint creak of a floorboard downstairs. Her blood ran cold. Moving swiftly but silently, she locked her bedroom door and texted Jake, her hands trembling. When he didn't respond, she dialed 911. To her horror, her phone's battery died mid-call, and the charger was in the other room. Desperate, she picked up the landline phone on her desk. As she dialed 911 again, the line went dead and the lights flickered out. Panic surged through her. The man had cut off the electricity. Complete silence enveloped the room. Madison hid in the closet, peeking through the slats to watch the room. Her body shook with fear. She strained to hear any sound, but there was nothing. Suddenly, she heard a faint tapping on the window. Turning slowly, her heart nearly stopped as she saw the man outside, smiling. He shattered the glass with his crowbar. Madison screamed and bolted for the front door, the man hot on her heels. Just as she reached the door, Jake's car screeched to a halt outside. He jumped out, enraged, wielding a baseball bat. He struck the man on the head and began beating him mercilessly. Jake tied the unconscious man with the ropes he had brought and called the cops. When the police arrived, they searched the man's pockets and found a pair of dice. The officers exchanged knowing glances. This was the clue left at every crime scene by a notorious serial killer with 37 female victims, known for never leaving any other trace. As the police took the man away, Madison clung to Jake, tears streaming down her face. The nightmare was over, but the scars it left would remain with her forever. Weeks later, Madison and Jake sat in a police station, reviewing security footage from the night of the coffee shop incident. The footage showed the man picking the lock, placing duct tape and ropes on the counter, and moving towards the bathroom with a crowbar in hand. The sight sent shivers down Madison's spine. Despite the ordeal, Madison knew she was lucky to be alive. She had Jake to thank for that, and together they would move forward, forever changed but stronger for having faced the darkness together. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Stay safe, and until next time, sweet dreams, or should I say, nightmares.